your kill to death ratio does not matter at all in rank, because a lot of you like trash hard stuck players do not seem to understand this. If you're stuck in like legendary 1, then pay attention real quick. What we got here is a Pierce, a Buster, and a Meeple against a Mina, a Colt, and an Otis. The really important thing here is the lanes, right? The Pierce needs to be the mid, the Meeple needs to be the left lane, and the Buster needs to be the right lane. So let's see what happens here. So I try to play mid, the Buster immediately goes to the left lane. If you're a short range brawler, if you're a tank, then you want to be on the right lane most of the time. Especially because they have a Mina on that lane, and that Mina is going to get stuck up in our bushes and fuck with us for the whole game. You'll also notice the Meeple is not playing a lane. The Meeple's trying to take mid. And this is exactly why I say kill to death ratio does not matter at all. Like if you're stuck and you're losing like over and over again, and you're like, man, my randoms are so bad, they keep picking bad brawlers, their stats are so bad, but you're losing every game, it's because you are making them bad. This Meeple right here is completely taking my niche away, right? I picked Pierce first to be the mid. So now I have to go try and play the right lane, which is the absolute worst lane. Like even the left lane would have been acceptable for me. And the Meeple does do a good job here, helping pinch the Mina out of the bush. And I think the Meeple's actually going to go back to playing lane. Nope, straight back to the mid. And actually, the Meeple runs up and dies here for some reason. I cannot understand why. That and everything that Meeple just did, showed up as 1 death on the stat sheet. What doesn't show up on the stat sheet is that they have 5 gems and we have 0 because we've had no control the entire game. So now I get completely drilled. Like this is 100% my fault. I don't know what I was thinking. And now we've got me playing the right lane again, which is obviously just not the move at all. But somehow their Colt just overcommits and the Buster kills him and we get all the gems back. So that's beautiful. So now let's look at game 3. And this is what you need to do, right? So I've been shitting on the randoms this whole time. And you can learn from their mistakes. But you can also learn from what I did here, which is if your team is doing something stupid, you still need to work with them and try to make it work to win the game. So I am going to switch the Buster and go left lane. And he listens. He goes right. I should not be playing a lane. Obviously, I should be playing the mid. But if I insist on going the mid, in this game, what's going to happen is the Buster won't switch. The Mina will get in our bush immediately. Meeple and I will both get pinched from the side. And the Buster is not going to beat the Otis on this left lane most of the time. So this game goes a lot better at the start. In fact, the Buster wins his lane so hard because the Mina is so used to just overcommitting and dashing into the bush to kill me. And so the Buster switch actually catches her off guard, which plays to our advantage. And then the Buster pushes up and pinches them, which would be good, except he loses control here. He does an excellent job of winning his lane. He pushes up the map. He kills the gem carrier right here. This is his mistake. So the Mina survives here because of her gadget. I'd say up until this point, no big mistakes have been made. You could have expected that Mina to die. I'm not going to blame you for that. But he runs up here to get this 1 gem and completely ignores the Mina, who's now healing in our back bush. And I have to run to do something about it because the Meeple isn't paying attention either. Except I'm a Pierce. I have terrible wall peek and I'm fighting a Mina. So I can't actually get the Mina out of the bush. And so this Mina completely ruins our game. Luckily for us, the Buster's able to get the gems. And then once we have all the gems and we actually have the lead, this is just like shooting fish in a barrel for me because I'm a Pierce, so they can't actually approach me. So if you look at the stats, the Meeple went 6 and 8, which is not horrible. But if the Meeple had gone 10 and 5 and done what they did, they still would be throwing, which is my point. Like they had the most damage in the lobby. Like if they did a slightly better job at staying alive, they would still be, even if they actually played a good mid and only had like 2 deaths the whole game, they'd still be throwing. And if they had picked a good mid, like Gus, and gone mid, they would still be throwing because I already picked a mid. So why are you picking over my niche? And this goes for a lot of game modes. Like if I pick a sharpshooter, you got to think real hard before you pick another sharpshooter because you might just be getting our team countered and you might be screwing me over. And especially on a map like Bell's Rock, for example, like a knockout map, but there's a lot of walls. Let's say if I go Bell and then you go Piper afterwards, in most drafts, you've lost us the game regardless of your kill to death ratio, regardless of if you outperform my stats. The game that we lose is your fault. And I mean, I KD farmed at the end here. Like in that last game, I got a ton of kills. I probably would have been negative if it wasn't for that. So if we lose this game, this Meeple screenshots this shit. He's like, oh, this Pierce went negative. He has less damage than me, and he's playing the best brawler in the game. He threw. What's his problem? I mean, the Buster got star player, and the Buster did make some clutch plays, but the Buster was just capitalizing on their mistakes. Like, he was just pulling their gem carriers that overcommitted. He also was throwing the game. Don't put stock into kill to death ratio unless you know why it happened. If you can explain why it happened sincerely, then you can put some stock into it. But I'm tired of seeing these players who are hard stuck in legendary lose like 10 games and be like, oh, my randoms are so bad. Like, you lost 10 games. You're the common denominator, okay? You lost 10 games. You lost 10 games. But yeah, this was probably the easiest rank win of my push today. Every single player in this lobby was horrible. It was pretty funny.